maybe you don't have the $1 million cars, but you probably have a car, and you've noticed with the temperatures falling, maybe you've heard a little something going on with your car. So Frank here at Desert Car Care, even though it's warmer here than most places, it's cold enough to damage what you got going on.
We are cold, and there's the reason why I've got this heavy jacket on, because if I get in my ride in the morning, Lena, and I start it, and I turn the heater on, and it's clicking and popping, and I don't have any heat, and I've got to hang with a jacket, that's not good. So I have a tip. More than likely, if you are hearing that little popping noise, you've got one of these vent door actuators. It'll sit there and make this clicking noise. So the idea is to get it checked out. More than likely, you've got a vent actuator. These actuators operate these little barn doors, if you will, in the dash, opening and closing these little doors to vent that heat. So that's something that one could check out. The other thing too is morning sickness with the squeaks. Oh my goodness, if your ride has that batch of birds chirping. Oh,
Wait.
well, that's for effect, Lena,
Okay.
but really, the idea is that you actually will have a batch of bird sound coming from your ride. And we all know about our belts. We're going to check our belts. I've identified that if you've got a crack in the belt, that can be a problem. But I want folks to know the big problem with belts, we have a tendency, if our belts aren't cracked, they don't need to be done. But if they're stretched, especially in the morning on that first start, it's going to chirp up. So you want to make sure that you check that. One more tip for those of us in the morning getting in our ride and you operate the steering and it starts whining, you may need a very simple power steering flush. So let me explain. You've got fluid that circulates. This is some pretty decent power steering fluid. And you can see when this fluid is warmed up, it's going to look like that. When it's cold, it's going to be really hard to circulate. You can see the difference there. So the idea is that you can take it into your local mechanic and have them check the power steering fluid, make sure the fluid is healthy. That should be serviced every 30 to 50,000 miles. It's a simple fix, and that can take care of that whine and moan in the morning when you steer.
Okay. What if it's not making any noises?
Then you're golden.
Okay.
You don't need to go to the mechanic.
Words we long to hear.
Yes, yes.
So
we love you, but I know that it's,
You've been in the Valley a while. Tell us where you're located.
Well, we're down in Chandler. DesertCarCare.com is where you can visit on a website. But I got to tell you that if you can't make it to our neck of the woods, asaaz.org, a great community-minded group of shop owners that can help you out. So.
All right, so the cold can definitely affect things.
It can.
And what about tires?
Tires too. We got to take tires serious, right? You know, the tires. Now the biggest thing is the tire pressure. So many of us are driving around in that TPMS light, that aggravating light comes on. You just want to make sure the pressure is checked, because in the cold, tire pressure can reduce. Yes. Of course, in the summer it expands. Right. So check those tires.
Okay. Thanks so much. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
And for the great demonstration. I'm glad to know there aren't actually a whole bunch of birds in your in your engine there.